going on, my Masketeers? Welcome back to another episode, and we're here to talk about Prey, the spiritual successor to the 90s classic, The Predator. And this film acts somewhat of a prequel. It is set in 1719, where we follow a young Comanche woman by the name of Naru, who has dreams and aspirations of becoming a great hunter like her brother. And she has grown up as a healer and also a tracker, but she doesn't feel that is her role, and she wants to be a hunter. And then it just so happens through a series of events, she will have an encounter with the Predator, who has landed on Earth to do what it does best, and that is to have the best possible hunt it can find. And as we already know, the hardest hunt is hunting man. And she and the Predator will encounter each other numerous times. Throughout the encounters, you will see her grow, evolve, and she will go from being the prey to the Predator. See what I did there? Okay, so that's literally the synopsis of the film. Let's get into the good of it. The film itself, I would say that I was pleasantly surprised. For one, I was definitely not really believing that they could make a good Predator film after the original. 2 was okay, but after the original one, I really just feel like it's just gone downhill. And again, it's because they tried to make a cash grab and tried to build a franchise, but they didn't do it in the right way. They didn't care about any of that. They just cared about making money, and the films and the stories kind of prove that. But with this film, I feel like it definitely captured the essence of what Predator 1 was. And I think because it was set in 1719, you kind of went back to like the basic of the basics, especially when it comes to technology, because even the Predator, it doesn't have like the same high-tech weapons that you're normally accustomed to seeing. It still has the camouflage, but apart from that, everything is literally like bare minimum. And because of that, the Predator has to get up close and personal. And whenever you see it do that, you can literally see the power and the violence, which ties into the thing which I like the most about this film. The action was definitely up there. I was pleasantly surprised with the brutality of the Predator and also with the action sequences when fighting the Predator. I thought like they were really well put together. I also say that the characters, but when I say character, there's really only 2 characters to care about, which is Naru and her brother Tabby. So if I'm butchering his name, forgive me, but that's just how I'm going to pronounce it throughout this episode. Their character development and their dynamic is really good, especially based off the fact that even though they are family, you can see like where there's somewhat of not really animosity, but Naru, she definitely has some issues and insecurities, especially in comparison to her brother, because he's seen as a great warrior and hunter, and that's what she wants to be, but everybody doesn't actually believe that she can be one. And I feel like on some level she holds resentment to her brother. And yeah, so it's just really interesting that to kind of see that dynamic play out and how it evolves throughout the film. And that would be where I feel like the actors did an amazing job in terms of being able to portray those emotions, because it's a nice surprise essentially, like when you can watch a movie like this and you still see and find like the quiet moments to where like the actors just give you acting, a human emotion of either feeling upset, angry, sad, vulnerable. And so you get a few quiet moments within this movie, which I was quite surprised. I will say as well, Naru is a good and a bad protagonist, and I'll explain more in the later part of the video why. But yeah, like there's a lot of elements which I really did like about her character. Especially I like the fact that, you know, she has like a very adaptable and adaptive mindset. It kind of reminded me a bit like Mulan from the original Disney film, when Mulan wasn't the strongest soldier, but she was the smartest, and that's what she used to win. She used her smarts because physically she couldn't beat her opponent, but she was smarter than them, and she used her wit to get the upper hand and take victory. And I feel like Naru has a lot of those moments in this film, which I really did like, because I like the fact that she's weaker, she's smaller, she's slower, but that makes people think that she's not a threat, but she's able to use that to her advantage. So I like that part in the movie. And what else did I like about the movie? I also say like the cinematography, visually the movie looked amazing. From the Predator to the shots of the Great Plains to, yeah, like to everything visually, cinematography was on point. So that's like another positive, which I'll definitely give the film. Let's get into negatives. To be honest with you, my only real negatives, like with this film, like I mentioned earlier, it was Naru as a protagonist. There's elements I liked about her, but there's elements which I didn't like about her. And I feel like that's where like the movie really suffered, because I didn't understand her motivation. And I think that's, again, it comes down to the writing, because they tried to make it have the message of, you know, women can do everything that men can do, but they didn't want to say that, because within the tribe, they've made it seem like anybody can become a hunter. They didn't really make it seem like it's based off gender. It's a case of where anybody can become a hunter. You just have to have the skills. But then, I don't know, there was that kind of thin line of anyone can become a hunter, but when it came to Naru, it was because she's a woman. So I was just like, which one is it? Is it a case of where anyone can be a hunter, but she's just bad? Or is it a case of where, no, men are hunters, women, they with the tribe and do medicine? And so I feel because they never really defined that properly, it just felt a little bit disjointed for me. Now, that also ties into like her interactions like with certain people. And again, it just didn't make no sense, because they know her as a healer and they know her as a good tracker. So she can track almost anything, and that's what she's known for. But when she's gone to help them track, because in the movie there's a scene where like a lion has supposedly taken one of their fellow hunters, and now they've gone to track the lion, and so because she's the best tracker, she's the one leading like the party, so to speak. But it's like people are kind of making fun of her while she's in the group, saying that you shouldn't be here, like you should be at home or back at the village making food, which I didn't get, because if she's known as one of the best trackers, like why are they treating her like it's not a woman's place to be here when this is what she does, this is what you know her to? So again, it was just very weird in that respect, which I didn't really understand. And now this also ties into where I said that Naru is smart and resourceful, but towards the end of the film they lose that, where it's she is smart and where she uses her intelligence over her brawn. The final fight, what she was doing shouldn't have been possible for her, because she was taking on the Predator like one-on-one. And if you remember, like the original, Arnold barely survived fighting the Predator, and this is literally a 6'2", easily 250-pound man that can bench press like 200 pounds easy. But even he struggled fighting the Predator one-on-one. Like he couldn't do it. Like he literally had to use every dirty trick he knows in the book to even hurt it. And then when it came to the one-on-one fight, he got wrapped up. But with Naru, like she starts off doing the whole thing of, yeah, you know, traps, all this stuff, using her brain, and then it turns into a proper one-on-one fight, to the point of where the Predator can't catch her because she's too fast, she's too nimble for the Predator. And that's what I was like, come on, let's be real, the Predator is faster and stronger than anything on earth. Nothing can keep up with it, let's be honest. So how is this woman able to fight it on equal par? And that was where it was just a little bit, nah, I don't really like that too much. I thought that's where they could have done a better job of writing that scene. It looked good, but at the same time, it kind of took me out, because again, they've shown numerous times people that have tried to fight this thing and it's just murked them quickly. This thing fought a bear, like one-on-one. It fought a bear and knocked it out of one punch. But somehow, Naru is able like to literally keep up with this thing. And that's where I was like, nah, come on, nah. And the thing is, because there's even moments where it reminded me of like Ripley in Aliens, but it's like Ripley could never fight the alien one-on-one. Like Ripley used her intelligence to fight and win. And so even that, it's like to get victory, you had to go that extra mile. But in this one, literally by the end of it, like, Naru was not phased. She was not phased by it. And I think for me, that's the one part which I didn't like too much. I thought, nah, that's kind of trash. You guys could have done a little bit better. Obviously, that was like my biggest issue with the film. And then the last thing was the storyline doesn't make that much sense. When you watch it and you see some of the stuff that happens, it's cool, but the storyline and why everything is happening at times is a little bit, wait, what? Okay, I guess so. But it's like they took what was shown in Predator 2 when Donald Glover was given the old school pistol from 1719 by the Predators because they deemed him a worthy enough champion and he had killed the Predator, right? And they took that gun and they said, we're gonna base a movie around how the Predator got that gun. But then when you watch this film, which is supposed to be that, you still don't even understand how they got that gun. Because even with the ending, she has the gun, right? But it doesn't even end with the Predators coming back, either collecting the body of the defeated Predator or her meeting the Predators that dropped the Hunter Predator off. Okay, because you bested one of our own, we recognize you as a hunter. And then like they take the gun. So I would say my verdict for Prey would be a 7 out of 10. I thought it was a good film. I definitely would say that it is the best film after the original Predator. So my ranking would be Predator, Prey, Predator 2. Forget the rest. Scrap them, dog shit. And with that, I will say, guys, tell me what you thought in the comment. Let me know if you liked the film, if you've watched it, if you didn't like it, why. Let's really start a little conversation there. Also, like I said in my last video, I'm going to be doing a few shout outs for people that left comment in the previous video. So my guy, there you are right now. You can all see his comment. But yeah, moving forward, I'll do more shout outs. I'll show more of your comments. And yeah, man, let's just keep growing. And I am very grateful for all the support that you guys have been giving me. And I will see you next time. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.